This meeting is being recorded.
This is Boston 9/11 Truth. Today is August 13th, 2026. And to begin with, we're going to start with a little music.
Seven stories in New York. So bad, I'm a building. Still shadow of the World Trade. It's a long day. September 11th, when I qualified, they left it to burn, and I'm a weakling, cause it was just a few fires. I'm a weakling, we're falling straight down.
I think we lost the sound, so
Lost what?
we've lost the sound.
You
Oh, there you
can't
go.
hear it?
It's sporadic.
Okay. All right.
Do you have any Pink Floyd?
Well, there's no 9/11 Truth music in Pink Floyd yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Not yet, not yet. There may well be.
There may well be some in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
nobody
watched
could
the.
hear the sound?
It was cutting off.
All right.
Yeah, it
I
was.
guess I have to get some technical assistance before I try that one again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Yeah.
watched the Roger Waters interview with Tucker Carlson
Oh,
a few weeks ago. It was really good. It was quite emotional actually.
and not only that, he seemed to be pretty much up to speed with
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, he wasn't
yeah,
just learning this now. He's
yeah,
been exploring this for a while, you could tell. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I've
So
had some contact with Matt Campbell actually.
what's that?
I've had some contact with Matt Campbell,
Oh, you
the
have?
guy that Roger Waters well, he's given him 100 grand basically for his legal fees. Um, yeah, yeah. So I'm in contact with Matt, and I think it's mid-October the Supreme Court hearing, the inquest into his brother's death.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we have it in the UK. We are granted an inquest if somebody dies in mysterious circumstances, and I think there was one, but it was kind of dismissed, and terrorism, buildings fell down, and that's all there is to it. And then Matt didn't accept that. He's tenaciously fought it, and he's got this Supreme Court hearing on sometime in October, which Roger Waters has got involved with and is really being quite vocal about. So, yeah.
Not only that,
We'll
he
see.
funded quite a bit.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he funded
Yeah.
a lot, and yeah, we'll see where that goes. Yeah, it
Right.
could be interesting. I don't know, the cynical part of me sort of
Well, it's a
almost
better
says the
chance in
whole
the
system
UK.
yeah, but the whole kind of system just
Yeah.
seems very sewn up, doesn't it? So yeah,
Right.
we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
We shall see.
Don't underestimate
Oh,
the celebrity value. Whenever I mention his name in Pink Floyd and talk about 9/11, it's like automatic creds that come along with it.
yeah. Well, let me start
Yeah.
with introducing Andrew. As I said, this is Boston 9/11 Truth, and today is August 13th, 2026. And today we have Andrew Teece from across the pond in Great Britain. So I'm just going to quickly go over his bio. Andrew Teece's background is in architecture. He worked in the industry since 1997 and has run his own architectural consultancy since 2010, which helps in terms of understanding buildings, but also having a disciplined mind in that he's trained to bring lots of disparate elements together into a coherent whole. This discipline could apply to putting a complex building together, but equally to bringing a complex story together, such as the events of 9/11. He was profoundly disturbed by the 9/11 attacks, having previously visited New York on a couple occasions, and also having visited the Twin Towers, which he watched all the usual films in the years that followed, including United 93, and generally found no reason to question the official version of events. However, in 2018 and 19, he read two fairly mainstream books which challenged the official narrative along the lines of incompetence theory. At that time, his mind became open to the possibility of foul play, and then that a very wise and thoughtful friend suggested he look into Building 7. He'd never heard of Building 7 at that point, but as soon as he watched the video of its collapse, something shifted in him. And for the last 7 or 8 years, he's been reading about it and researching 9/11. And around 2021, when he began seriously taking notes. And he has started writing a book, When Superpowers Collide, which was intended as a story of a relationship between the USA and Russia over centuries. However, he found it difficult to write about events in real time with regards to the Ukraine conflict. After about 140 pages, he decided to park that project for a time and concentrate on 9/11. He has a coherent picture of events of that day, which came to him by degrees. And now he is nearing completion of a manuscript, which he envisions will be about 500 pages. Trine Day Publishing have confirmed they are happy to publish the book early next year. So we're just beginning to hear about it, and he has released a chapter on Substack. So welcome, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Susan. Yeah, nice to be with you. Yeah. Yeah. So wait, how do you want me to play it? Do you want me to just talk a bit more about how the book's kind of developed, or?
Yes, that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And your
yeah.
writing experience in the past, how this architecture led to writing.
Yeah, one really interesting element of it is, so when we do planning applications, which I assume you have in the US,
Mhm.
if the local authority reject a planning application for development, then you have the right to appeal, and it goes to a central planning body who oversees the whole country. And if you do that, you have to put a very kind of strong written case forward as to why the decision was wrong. So through that process, I really honed my writing skills in terms of putting a counter argument forward to an official narrative, if you like.
Right.
So when the council come with this, no, you can't build it because of these policies, and come up with all this really quite intimidating language, then it's a case of deconstructing it and then putting this stronger counter argument forward. And what I was finding that I was winning a lot of these appeals, and even though I'm not a planning specialist, my background is in architecture, I sort of put it down to the way I was writing these counter arguments. So I think that's stood me in good stead to offer this kind of counter argument to these prevailing narratives. And then obviously with the architectural stuff, with the the basic understanding of how building structures work, and it's kind of just developed from there, really. So it feels it's quite an organic process in terms of how it's unfolded. So yeah. But it was, as you said in your sort of intro, the Building 7 collapse was the thing that really swung it for me. It was so obvious in terms of it being a controlled demolition.
Yeah,
that was the shifting point. It was, oh right, okay. And I think it takes a lot of time to really get your head around things. And when I talked about it coming to me in degrees, I think there's certain things that I've got my head around that I wouldn't have been able to get my head around at the beginning. So the way I've approached the book is to sort of walk the reader through it from, right from the beginning. How was this presented to us on the TV on that day? And then, how has the term conspiracy theory been weaponized against us to stop us from thinking? And then what was the intelligence that was available to the various intelligence agencies in the years and months leading up to 9/11? Because my sort of thesis is that it was a plot laid on top of a plot. So that there was some Al-Qaeda, Islamic terror stuff going on, and people getting trained in flight skills. But then, to what extent was the actual plot laid on top of it to give that kind of plausible deniability, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just walking the reader, because I want it to appeal to people outside the movement as well.
That's what I liked so much about your early release on the Substack. At first, I thought, my goodness, he's giving us the official narrative, but walked people into this, and I like that.
Walk
Yeah,
them
it was
into.
great.
Yeah. So that's the kind of premise of the book. Yeah.
I like that approach very much. Al's got his hand raised. You have a question, Al?
Yeah, your arguments were they presented in the U.S. Any sort of planning board, or have you ever gone that far as to? I know my limited experience with construction. The first thing you do is go to the planning board and have them review your plans. And wondering, did you do that in the U.S. or did you do it in England, or is it just?
Yeah, it's all in England. Yeah,
it's all in England. Okay, got it.
So we have very different. I'm sure we have very different planning laws, and they're quite old and archaic. I think. I think yours are a little bit more up to speed and in line with modernity. Ours are in all this old language, which is quite difficult at times. But yeah.
What sort of reaction did you get from the English side of the pond?
Well, in terms of the reaction I got from the appeals, they were generally pretty successful. So there was obviously something in what I was doing and how I was approaching it that seemed to work. So as I say, that gave me quite a lot of confidence in terms of writing and being able to put, a strong argument forward.
Interesting.
Mm.
So how did you find your publisher?
It was recommend. So Brewster Torres, who wrote, just bear with me, this book here, God's School, 9/11 and JFK.
Oh,
Which is a great little book. It's you'll see I've got a lot of sticky notes in the margins where I've researched it, but it's 200 pages, and there's a lot of it's very philosophical. He recommended that I contact Chris Milligan at Trying Day and to see if he's interested. So it was really through Bruce that. And that's the only publisher I've approached.
Wow.
Because I've got loads of Trying Day books on my bookcase here. So they were always my kind of preferred publisher. There is another publisher called Skyhorse, which do some good books. They did Bobby Kennedy's Real Anthony Fauci.
Wow. Oh, yes, that's where
Daniele Ganser did one called USA Ruthless Empire on Skyhorse, and that was kind of going to be my next one that I approached. But Chris at Trying Day said he wanted to do it, so yeah, it was.
So do they give you deadlines of submissions for chapters and stuff?
Well, we're looking at the first quarter of next year, so I think sort of sometime in maybe late October, I'm going to have the thing finished to give him enough time to edit and so yeah.
Do you have family and friends that help you with editing?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've got. It's a funny one because, I've got maybe half a dozen of friends and family that really, really are interested, that are wanting to read things and, just push back. And, my mum, bless her, has been a really good sounding board. So I run lots of ideas through my mum.
Wow.
Nearly 83. Yeah, and she's a bit forgetful and all the rest of it. But so I do have a half a dozen people that I can throw ideas at, and so that's been good. Yeah, that's been really helpful.
Do you find, generally speaking, your family and friends receptive to the idea of 9/11 truth?
Yeah, some are.
Yeah.
I mean, my immediate family is my mum and my brother and my two daughters.
Yeah.
All of whom are receptive.
Oh, that's great.
And then some friends. In fact, to be fair, most of my friends are, because what I really sort of noticed during the COVID era was that if you are kind of aggressive in your approach to people, then they kind of shut down.
Yep.
And doubled down. So what I was seeing was people driving about with face masks on in the car on their own, and you sort of look and think, Okay, but I'd have friends that were kind of getting really angry about that and shouting, "Wake up!" at people. And I quickly realized that that's not the right approach. I think the right approach is to just sprinkle a little bit of information into the conversation. Like, have you seen Building 7? That kind of thing. And I hope that some light bulbs are going to turn on in people's minds.
It's amazing. 25 years later, there's still a lot of people who never heard of Building 7. Well, you came into this rather late in the game yourself.
Late to the party, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very late.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what we're all about, waking people up.
So I presume you'll know Madhava.
Yes, Madhava Sethi.
Yeah,
yes.
Madhava's late to the party as well.
Yeah.
By his own admission, but he's, like me, he's catching up fast.
Well, he's the premiere of the film in Massachusetts, The Responders, about the firefighter first responders. That's being shown in the Boston area, and he's going to be at the premiere to host the showing of it. So we're pretty excited about that. One of our members of Boston 9/11 Truth brought him in to do that, and it's very exciting. Yeah. So he's been one of our guest speakers too. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy. Yeah. Is that early September then?
Yes.
The Boston thing. Yeah.
Well, he's doing 2 speaking engagements in Boston. September 1st, he's speaking at help me out, Al. I don't remember the name of it. It's a society.
Wasn't he going to be in New York, or is that?
No, it's in Boston.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's speaking to a society, Brownstone Institute, the Brownstone Institute. And then September 17th, that's when he's hosting the premiere of the responders in Milton, Massachusetts, which is the Boston area.
With Henry McLean.
Right. Henry McLean. He arranged the whole thing. Good for Henry.
Yeah.
He
came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I think Madhava Sethi is also one of the speakers on Turning the Tide this year.
He is. I'm undecided as to whether I'm going to get there.
Oh wow! You don't have a lot of time to figure that out.
I know, but I was going to go, and then obviously with the publishing side of things, because it's not going to be out for at least 6 months.
Right.
I just thought the pressure's kind of off a bit.
Yeah.
But I still might. I haven't fully decided.
Well, unfortunately, we in Boston are not going to be able to attend because we have our own events in Boston we need to attend.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've got this little fella here, and I've got this little fella here, and my daughter was supposed to be looking after him. So obviously, because she's had this surgery, she's not going to be too mobile, and he needs like some serious miles. He's a cocker spaniel, and so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Well, I'll have to sort that. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna. He is. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
That's your other baby.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to try and sort some care for me little boy. So we'll see. I'd like to come, but yeah, it's just up in the air at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Ted Walter? Have you?
Yes.
You know him, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Talked to Ted on the through Jean and Sandra. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ted's a good guy. And in fact, he's done some really good research.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I'll talk about in the book is the hijackings and the probability that the official story is correct, which is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of them being able to hijack the planes with box cutters, because there's no historical precedent for that. So then for us to believe that all 4 planes on that day were hijacked with these weedy Arabs with box cutters it stretches credulity. So I'm inclined to think that, I mean, I'd be interested to hear your views on this as well, because everybody's got their own personal kind of theories. There's a lot of theories within a theory.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm inclined to think that the original flights were probably hijacked remotely and flown into the buildings. I know about the plane swap theory, and I know kind of it seems to come from the Northwoods document, but I've not seen anything really that's convinced me of that. I don't know where you stand on it.
Well, Boston, I like to tell people Boston 9/11 Truth as an organization is about truth. And one thing we, in that pursuit, is we do not censor anybody's ideas about 9/11. On the other hand, we don't take any official position about how we think 9/11 was committed, you know, as a group. Of course, individually, we all have our own ideas, but as a group, we believe in being inclusive, and as long as you're civil and not accusatory of other people, you know, you can have robust discussions about what you think happened. That's fine, but don't attack one another. You know, don't make this personal. We are all in the pursuit of the truth, you know, and
Yeah.
that's the position. That's the official position of Boston 9/11 Truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw I watched the episode you did with Aidan Monaghan the
Oh,
other day,
yes.
and he's done some really good research, and
Mhm.
he got a little bit. I think one of you viewers got a little bit combative with him, and
Right. I've
yeah, it
gotten
was a
better at
little bit.
moderating of that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, he's done some good. Yeah, but it's good, and I think I saw a conversation with Gene and a guy on Facebook the other day, and it was about the Pentagon,
Hmm.
and I think Henry got upset because Gene had liked a post that endorsed the kind of missile theory, and uh, liking a post is not really a big thing, is it? And this
No.
guy got upset and said, you know, he was playing because eyewitnesses saw it, and you know, he gave all these reasons, and I honestly don't know whether it was a plane or not. That's probably the biggest undecided factor in my book, and I do say as much. You know, this is go through the physical evidence of it, and you know, kind of the reader, you decide what do you think.
Exactly.
Because I don't have a strong opinion on the Pentagon because I don't know, and I think we lose sight of the bigger picture when we start arguing about these minutiae, and it's like, yeah, we need to sort of get to to the crux of the matter rather than arguing over what, even if it was a plane, when you look at particularly Dick Cheney's movements and his behavior on that morning, then, there was some interference in whatever hit it.
Right.
It
Well,
may-
I think the main thing is we need to prove that the whole thing was a false flag. And the
whole
Pentagon
thing was-
is an important part of the discussion.
Yes.
That much I agree with. I don't think people, because of they're afraid of splitting the 9/11 truth movement, that they should avoid talking about the Pentagon. I think they should talk about the Pentagon, because the fact that the Pentagon was hit by whatever was the reason for going to war. And that's what really started the whole thing, and the Patriot Act, and it went beyond a so-called terrorist act, and now it was an attack on the USA. So the Pentagon is an important issue, but how it was done, can't say. I can't say. I think there's a lot of good arguments on all sides of the coin. But I think we all agree that it was a false flag attack.
Yeah, it'd help if we could see a video, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But we've never been shown any, so despite all the security cameras and the footage that's confiscated, so yeah, that kind of doesn't instill confidence. So,
well, the other thing is the FOIA request that Mick Harrison and Jean La Rotunda filed for the release of the Pentagon videos. And the first reply they had was, well, we've released what we had. And so they went back and refiled it with a little bit of different wording, and found out that I think it was 115 videos that they haven't released.
They want like 30 grand or something to release them.
And then they came back and said, for this much per video, which adds up to $34,000. What? How is that open information? That is not open information. In this, and the even the feeble excuse of national security, can't release from national security. So why are you asking $34,000 from this total non-clearance citizen? So there's no gosh darn good reason not to release those videos.
So and I think, so the second chapter in the book is called Conspiracy Theories. So it's basically about the weaponization of conspiracy theories. And I say in the opening remarks of the chapter, I say that if the US government wanted conspiracy theories to proliferate, then they would have done exactly what they did. So they would have not released videos of the whatever hit the Pentagon, not mentioned Building 7 in the 9/11 Commission report, not amended the hijackers list after six of them came forward and said, no, I'm here, I'm alive. And just and so on and so forth. But as you say, I think the kind of splits in the movement have often been deliberate by outside.
You really have to wonder. I will not accuse anybody of anything, because I don't think it's helpful. But you have to wonder, as we're approaching the 25th anniversary, and we have, one senator supporting, and famous rock musician supporting, many talking heads, even, Tucker Carlson, unbelievable number of support growing. You have to wonder about the timing of this splitting apart of the 9/11 truth movement. Is this deliberate splitting apart of it or not? It's smells.
Yeah, it does smell, yeah, and I presume you're aware of David Ray Griffin's book, Cognitive Infiltration.
Yep.
Yeah, which for me was really eye-opening in terms of, I do think I think the whole truth movement was getting so close to the target that it had to be discredited.
And Matt Campbell has a lot to do with this too. Because that's big, that there's going to be a UK hearing. So I think that's a big part of it as well. And we're so happy that that's happening, because we wouldn't get that far in this country. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting sometimes how these little mechanisms in the law can trigger something and potentially unravel the whole story.
So
we'll see. I'm skeptical as to whether that will bear fruit, but we'll see.
Well, let's send our positive energy out into the universe,
Yes.
and it's going to happen. We have to think positively. It doesn't help to think negatively.
Yeah. And it's only a matter of time before the truth. I've likened it to a dam, and the mainstream media is the dam wall, and all the information is just building up behind it. And sooner or later, it's gonna.
Yeah, little cracks in the wall.
The information's out there. It's just a fairly low frequency at the minute, and not everybody's aware of it. But once it starts to gather momentum, and this is, one of the reasons why, if I can throw a pebble into the water that helps to push the dam over, then that's what I'm happy to do, because it's the defining event of our lives, and it's a monstrous fraud. So yeah, we
endless
need to know.
Wars.
Endless wars, millions dead, surveillance.
We're still of our liberties.
Yeah.
Al has his hand raised. If we can take another question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was curious to how your relationship with Matt Campbell, and whether you've been able to help him in his, in the court case.
We've just had some kind of peripheral discussions, and I've not really got too far into it with Matt. I was hoping to go and see him and meet him, just for the content of the book, really. But I think up until October, when this Supreme Court hearing is, he's probably got his work cut out. So I may or may not speak to him before I finish the book. But he's doing a good thing. He is doing a good thing, and I recognise that. And I've chucked some money at his cause, so through the IC 911 website, their fundraisers and what have you.
Does he have?
Oh, go ahead, Al.
Does he have a big following in terms of the British side of the coin?
Not really. No. We're a little bit. I mean, as I was saying to Susan earlier, I think most of the people that I speak to in England about 9/11 are pretty receptive to the whole false flag concept of it, but it's not. It's probably not as much of a burning issue over here as it is over there.
Right.
Albeit, we, no, not my government, but our government was obviously joined at the hip with America when we invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, and
Yeah.
you only have to look at the ownership of the oil majors to understand why that happened. According to Webster Tarpley, Tony Blair was on the phone to George Bush when he was up in Air Force One, telling him he needed to go on television and say Bin Laden, Al Qaeda, and all the rest of it.
Wow.
In what appeared at that point to be some sort of military coup. So yeah, we're obviously the British oligarchy is obviously invested in the whole, the whole deception. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just quickly, when you were talking about the penetration of the government into the 9/11 story, years ago, we went to the Harvard bookstore and listened to Case Sunstein. And
Cass.
Right.
Cass,
Cass,
I guess it was Cass.
he wrote the.
They discussed the idea of introducing disinformation into the 9/11 truth movement. One of our members called him on it, and he didn't want to answer any questions regarding our group or anything to do with it. So it was a very interesting meeting, and I never forgot it.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm just going to get the book now. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, cognitive.
Yeah.
Infiltration.
Right.
Cognitive infiltration. Yeah, really, really interesting book.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I read that book, I thought, right, well, that's where the kind of CGI, no planes, direct energy weapons stuff probably comes from.
Right.
Or it's tied in with that somehow. Because if you can throw enough misinformation into, then you're going to just discredit the whole movement. So that seems to be where it's from. But I do talk about that quite a lot in the book. So yeah, I tried to cover it. I tried to cover it all. I've tried to give an overarching, because there's loads of good books about different aspects of 9/11. I've been reading Graham McQueen's book today.
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing a bit of writing about the similarities between Mohammed Atta and Lee Harvey Oswald in the run up to these events, where they both created this kind of public legend, this kind of unforgettable persona for the public to then say, oh yeah, that was him. Very similar tactics that we used. So Graham McQueen's Anthrax book went into that a bit. So there's loads of good books about different aspects of it. But what I've tried to do is do a whole overarching, try and encompass the whole story as best I could. And I dare say when the book's published, I'll have all sorts of regrets and think, oh, I didn't include that. But you can agonize forever, can't you? And sometimes you just need to bite the bullet and get it finished and get it out. So
you can always do an appendix.
You can always do an appendix or a second edition. So
yes.
Do you stay on message in the book? One of the big problems I see in the 9/11 movement is that people wander off into other subjects, and it dilutes the message that we've been trying to put out. And it's not that the other messages aren't legitimate, but I always am a stickler for staying on 9/11 truth and not wandering off into other conspiracies. And I'm wondering if that's what you do or you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep it sort of 9/11 focused, but I do go into other subjects just to put them into context in relation to 9/11. So, as I say, today I've been writing about Lee Harvey Oswald and the similar tactics that we used with Mohammed Atta in making them unforgettable. So we'll go into other subjects in order to make them relevant to 9/11, in the kind of historical context.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've got a chapter called Foxes in the Hen House in one of the chapters that looks at basically the premise is if you want to look into a major event, look at who heads the investigation into it.
Sure.
So I talk a bit about the Warren Commission, who was on the Warren Commission. I talk about the official investigation into the COVID-19 outbreak that was headed by Peter Daszak, that was funding all this gain of function research at Wuhan, and just to make it relevant to Zellico and the 9/11 Commission.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite broad, the subject matter. So, yeah.
So Jane has her hand raised. Go ahead, Jane.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Jane. I
Hi.
think we've met before.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Do you know Jean and Sandra?
I've been following them for a number of years now. Yes,
Yeah.
and maybe you've been on one of their
Yeah.
weekly Zoom
Yeah,
meetings.
I've been on you on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't
Yeah.
think we've actually talked. But I'm happy to hear you, to meet you now. And anyway, I just in the context of Al's leaning, which is that he feels we need to stick to if we want to get 9/11 truth more publicized and out there, that we need to stick to it. I think it's both that. I mean, people who delve into the details of it are fine, but I also think if in terms of the theme of trusting our government and our authorities, if you have a broader picture, you can and are able to connect the dots about all the deception and all of that also reaches many people as well. So I don't think it's either or. I think it's both. And that's just, I don't know if
Yeah,
that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree, and I think I do try to sort of put forward a broad, as I was saying to Al,
I look
put forward
forward
a broad. Yeah.
I look forward to the publishing of your book because I also really appreciate, as Susan expressed, also just starting from the beginning, what did people first see, and just leading us through a pathway of the whole thing. I think
Yeah.
that's admirable. Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
important not to just preach to the choir.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and what I found as well, one of the things that I found when I've tried to bring this up in conversations with friends, in the pub over a pint, you might not be that attentive. And I think the official story compared to reality is such a shift cognitively that people just cannot do it in a 5-minute conversation. So I think it needs 500 pages of dense research and text to walk them through it. And I think it would take people that have been invested in the official story for the last 25 years. I think it would take them quite a while for them to have that cognitive shift.
I'm just yeah, I'm just reminded. I sometimes reflect on this or voice it. There's a poem by Emily Dickinson called "Tell the Truth, but Tell It Slant," And
Mm.
it's very short, but the last two lines are the truth must dazzle gradually, or every man
Oh,
be blind. Something like
yeah.
that.
What? So just tell me the name of the,
Emily Dickinson, the poet.
and
Yeah,
what's the poem called?
it's called
Truth
Tell. I
Must
think
Go.
I don't know if it's Tell the Whole Truth. I think it may be Tell the Whole Truth, but Tell It
Right.
Slant.
Right.
Or and then the
Okay.
last two lines, every man be blind. I just find that so
Yeah.
helpful in terms of toning
Mm.
down the aggressive approach that you are rightly trying to avoid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that, and I will look that up tomorrow. And
Okay, great.
thank you. Thank you for that.
She
Yeah.
wrote
And what that?
over
Sorry.
1,800 poems.
No, 1800.
Yeah. So kind
Wow.
of getting back to Al's issue, no matter where you stand on COVID or Charlie Kirk or JFK,
What about
um,
Charlie?
yeah, Boston 9/11 Truth does try to stay exactly on message with 9/11 because not everything the government does is a conspiracy. And some of us will agree with some ideas about COVID, etc., and some of us won't. And we are inclusive. We don't want to alienate anyone in any of these camps on other issues, whether you're Republican, Democrat, socialist, anarchist, or what have you. You're all welcome as long as you question the official story, you know. So that's one reason we steer away from those other issues, even though maybe the majority of us might agree on these other issues. It's not a matter of the majority, it's a matter of staying on message and
Hmm.
staying inclusive about that message.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I appreciate all these perspectives. I really do. But officially, Boston 9/11's truth just stays on 9/11.
Yeah. Good. Good. And one of the sad things for me is the hostility that crops up on things like, the whole no planes theory, and anybody that says, well, no, there were hundreds of witnesses and they watched the plane, and it's like, no, that infighting is really frustrating to watch because
It's
it's,
destructive.
it's distracting from the whole purpose of the movement. Yeah, people can disagree on minutiae, but ultimately, it needs to be brought to the public's attention that this was a false flag and a fraud,
Yeah,
and it's shaped the course of history ever since.
it sure
So,
does.
yeah,
It
and true.
changed one thing that they did say on 9/11, the official story. 9/11 changed the world.
Yeah,
That's
it did.
true.
It really did. Yeah.
It really did. The entire world.
And I talked to my daughters and some of my, their friends and some younger friends about it, and they don't remember it because they weren't born. And when I say that was the most traumatic day we've ever lived through,
Yeah.
they don't think they can fully appreciate, what it was
But then
like.
again, they don't have that shock and awe of
Shock and
9/11 so
yeah,
that they
well,
can be
maybe they.
more open.
Yes, good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, and I agree completely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I do find that the younger generation is more open to listening about, what happened on 9/11 as
Yeah.
opposed to the official story. The only problem is they don't see a direct correlation to how it affects their lives. So I like to
Now,
tell
yeah,
them that 9/11 stole your future.
yes, yeah,
That needs
yeah,
to
good
be
point.
honed in on the younger generation.
Yeah,
9/11 stole your future. This is what your future would have looked like before 9/11. And then 9/11 just cut it right off.
yeah, yeah, that's a good point. And I think in terms of their openness to it, we've got things like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram to thank for kind of, we just were brainwashed by the BBC and,
Yeah.
talk a lot about that in the media chapter, but they do have these alternative platforms, and like especially my youngest is just come out of hospital. She's pretty switched on really, and she sends me things, and I'm like, oh, yeah, wow, I'm proud of you, So
Oh.
yeah,
The acorn doesn't fall too far from the oak.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So
well,
yeah, we've just got to keep plugging away, and eventually that dam's going to burst.
that's fantastic.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I love talking with people across the pond. I'd love to have Paul Cayley, back. It's always been difficult with the time difference.
yeah,
And I know it's very late for you, and you probably want to get some rest after such a upheaval day that you've had, and so much
yeah. It's the
appreciate
heat, the
you.
heat that takes it out of you. It
Oh,
just
man.
knocks you. It knocks you for six because we've no aircon. All my American friends are like, "Why don't you just get some air conditioning?" Well, it's usually like early 70s in summer, and like this year it's just been in the 90s. So yeah, it's
Home air conditioning is rare in the UK, right?
in newer houses they have it, but I'm in an old house, so my house is like 100 years old. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just have to sweat. Yeah.
Well, the UK seems to be a lot more energy conscious than we are in the US anyway.
Yeah.
Most of you don't have clothes dryers. Yeah, that's
No, mine's been out on the line in the garden this afternoon. But yeah, so in another 3 months it'll be miserable and foggy and raining and cold, and so that's what we have to remember, that it's winter's
right.
around the corner.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Well, I hope this heat wave ends for you shortly. Did you, I suppose you were too busy last night. I understand you guys had a pretty good view of the astronomy
yeah,
of the
yeah.
meteor showers.
Really bizarre because I thought I'd missed it. I thought for some reason I had it in my head that it was at lunchtime. And then I was eating my dinner last night, so this is about 7 o'clock, and
Mhm.
it brilliant sunshine, clear blue skies, and then all of a sudden it went really dark. I was like, oh wow! So I'm quite into my photography. In fact, I'll put it on Facebook. I've not been on today because I've just had
Oh,
such a
yeah.
busy day. But yeah, and obviously the moon went right across the sun, and it went dark, and then you just had this sort of orb in the sky. It was really surreal.
So that was the eclipse.
So that was the eclipse last
Yeah,
night.
but you
Yeah,
also had the meteor shower later on, didn't you?
I've not seen any meteors.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you tend to get them at this time of year, sort of mid-August, and
Did you see some? Did you see some, Sue?
no, because
No, I went out last night to look at it and it was cloudy. So
Oh, yeah, right. That'll do it.
I'm going to try again tonight because apparently it's viewable for 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
have you got light pollution where you are?
Yeah. Oh boy. So
Yeah.
much. You're right.
Yeah, so we have quite a lot. Yeah, but it's lovely stuff like that. Yeah, it's great to watch.
So
Yeah.
Yorkshire, is Yorkshire near York?
Yeah, York is the historic capital of
I've been
York.
there. Yeah.
Have you been to York? Have you been to York Minster?
Yes, I have.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so that's York's about 35 miles from me.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah.
on the sort of outskirts of Leeds, which is the
Okay.
main city in Yorkshire, and then
Right.
Paul's just like 5 miles north of me.
Yeah.
So we live quite close by, which is again, it's like such a small world.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So I get over to across the pond approximately once a year because my daughter lives
right.
in Edinburgh.
Yes, I remember you saying now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Edinburgh's lovely. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's 4 hours, 4 hour drive
It is.
from
Yes.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sort of halfway between Edinburgh and London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you drew a line from Edinburgh to London, I'd be sort of roughly halfway. So,
Right. Right. Yeah. And they used to live in Sheffield.
all right, that's not far from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 30 miles. So
Yeah.
I'm 30 miles north of Sheffield.
Yeah. Wonderful steel museum there.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
A very small world.
Yeah, it would be great if we could all get together, you and Paul Cayley and Jerry Burns and all.
Jerry's from Scotland.
Yes, yes, I've
Yeah.
met up with him a couple of times. He's a great,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
amazing
Yeah, he's,
researcher. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
amazing collection of the plots and plans of the buildings.
He shared
Absolutely.
quite a bit of that with me, and a lot of stuff about the asbestos in the Twin Towers. So yeah, Jerry. Yeah, I know Jerry. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's a great guy. So, are you familiar with the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 inquiry?
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm the treasurer for them, and an officer. And it's really been quite an honor working with them. Barbara Honegger and Richard Gage,
yeah. I know.
and
Yeah,
Charlotte Dennett and Jane Clark and Bruce Leidy and Mick Harrison.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
have
I know Richard, and Richard's given me some information as well for the book. So yeah, and
Richard
we've
knows
talked a
everybody.
few times. Yeah, he's very, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's got a mind like a steel trap. He just never forgets anything. And same with Barbara. Barbara Honegger also has a
Really.
mind like a steel trap.
I don't know Barbara, but I know her name, and um, she her name appears in quite a few of the books that I've read about
Yes.
9/11 actually.
Yes. She's
But
done
I've
a great
never,
deal of research.
yeah, I've not had any interaction with her.
What I wanted, the reason I thought of this is when you brought up the anthrax. She's done an amazing amount of research into the anthrax attacks.
Okay,
Yeah. So,
and
we have almost 60 exhibits that if we ever get to a grand jury in the US,
wow,
if
yeah,
ever, they've got over 60 exhibits on 9/11. So we're working hard on that.
I haven't
well
heard
that
I haven't heard Barbara speak that much about the World Trade Center issues. Have you?
No, she sticks pretty much with the anthrax and
And Pentagon.
Pentagon.
Yeah,
Right,
interesting. Yeah.
right. But publicly anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she has a lot of opinions about everything else too. Yeah, so yeah, she's an amazing person. She suggested that Jane Clark and she and I take a trip together to the UK sometime and
Yeah.
do a
Yeah.
little touring to visit all you guys. Yeah.
You should. Yeah, you should
Yeah.
definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, except I don't think I want to fly anymore. That's my issue.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little old for all the stupid TSA crap that they put you through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only, so whereabouts are you based, Susan?
What?
Where are you?
I'm in
Whereabouts are you?
Worcester, Massachusetts, which is 55
Oh, right.
miles west of Boston,
Okay, so you're this side. Yeah, so it's only a
smack in the middle
7
of the
hours.
state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I do a direct flight, which is usually unaffordable. Yeah, yeah,
Boston to London is about 7 hours, isn't it?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should come over. Yeah.
That would be
Sure,
great.
we'd be
That would be great.
happy to accommodate you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you again for joining us.
It
And
was lovely to be with you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for
and
having
we'll
me.
keep you on the email list for
Yeah.
notifications. Oh, I see you have something in the chat. Oh, that's just a timestamp. Okay. But I'll let
Well,
you get your rest.
thank you very much. Nice to meet you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.